which can be determined by the country. We should rather focus on the broad sense that we can all agree upon, like respect is a large part, but they also can appeal to the cultures as well, like respect, as I said again, appeals to most all cultures and religions, and that of trust.
Your religion, such as Christianity, is going to have different ideals than someone from a religion based on Islam. So they're going to have different disagreements on this universal ethical standard. It's not going to combine in a way because they're going to take their religion and implement it into the business, such as like someone who is Christian is more likely to go avoid like taxing people without them knowing, whereas someone who's Islam is more likely to just make sure that they're not attacking their God.
Part is marketing, money, and they just want to know the numbers, the facts, and I feel that universal ethical standards could be reached because most people want their money brought to them in a fair way. They want it to be correct. They want everyone to be honest with them, because when you're dealing with money and business, you want to make sure that your business and your money is going
In the UN and over 150 countries, all of very varying and diverse cultures. Also the Declaration on the Rights of the Child, also created by the United Nations and ratified by many diverse nations. So I believe that there already are existing codes of ethics and behavior, and they can be transferred over into the business
What we
world.
mostly consider universal ethics, we usually have problems from because nobody wants to listen to them. So how can we have universal ethics if nobody will listen to them and follow them?
It's not a standard for people in those sweatshops and the child labor. Doesn't mean it can't be in the future. If we establish the ethical standards now, who's to say in 5 years that these standards will not be applied in these sweatshops? I think that it's possible to, if we create them, for them to then go on and sort of like plant seeds around the world. If we create, if we do this, then we're going to look at, in the future, a better worldwide business environment.
Like bullying, there's still a problem with that, right? But there are a majority of people who don't, but there are still those who do. There's a 50-50 chance that even if you do plant that seed, you're going to follow it. So you have...
And it's something that I think that with time will be extended, and you shouldn't think that each country is different just because things like some people do bad things. These people, I think they will learn to be better.
I think more that universal ethical standards is how countries can, despite the differences, figure out a way to still work despite the differences. And we can see that that's already that does already exist. I mean, if it didn't, there wouldn't be international trade or business. But there is. And if we couldn't agree on that, then countries would not be able to do that. But yeah, we figured out a way to do that. So I don't think that everybody needs to follow and do the same thing, and it says bullying or whatever was brought up, that some people bully, some people don't. I think that there's always going to be people who aren't going to follow what's set out, but that doesn't mean that universal ethical standards cannot be created.
You can't change the same idea.
Or we can also have business ethics. Like for instance, the topic of fairness. Fairness can be interpreted in different ways. As long as it's followed, there should be no concern, because even though it's... So rather than have set standards that are meant to follow exactly, they can be interpreted different by different countries.